Alright, guys. Let me get everything adjusted here. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody got through their Monday alright. Okay, let me go ahead and start this. Hi, my name is Daryl Phillips, owner of New World Apologia Gaming, and what we do here is listen to you talk. So today's gonna be like this, alright? So I want to give you my thoughts. I tried to give you some encouragement last night, even though the live kind of got ruined. So I'll try to do partly that tonight, but I also want to educate you guys on something. See, because I hate politics, okay? However, unfortunately, by the way, I don't know how to spell minutes, clearly. Hold on. So anyway, we got this presidential election going on and so forth and so on. Everybody introduce yourself. I'll give you a shout out. So who's all on here right now, so I know who to address and who's not on here. I'm assuming Denise is on here, probably Tanya, maybe Lori. I have no idea. All right, so check this out. So anyway, I have to deal with this presidential election stuff. Normally, to be honest with you, I wouldn't have to deal with it. Oh my God, what in the hell? Why is... Knock it off, Siri. What the hell? That was Siri just activating this shit. Okay. So normally I wouldn't do politics. I never... Me and Dwan talked about this 4 years ago. You know, Dwan's going to be over tomorrow, and we're going to celebrate his birthday tomorrow. I can't say what we got him, but I will. I'm going to videotape it, so when she comes home, we've already bought his cake and his ice cream, which is really nummy, by the way. So we got that ready, but I don't want him to know what kind or anything like that. So, and she's going to be cooking him a good dinner. So anyway, but check this out. So me and Dwan, when we did this 4 years ago, ironically, it was during presidential election, and I vowed I would not involve politics in this at all. And you say, well, then what's going on now? Well, because things have changed. Yes, Denise, very yummy. I don't want to say what we're having for dinner tomorrow because Dwan may get on here and see. But you guys will see. Denise, I'll text you later about what we got. You're going to really like it. It's really nummy. But check this out. Okay, so because of the situation with our vice president and her running mate that she wants to have with her, because they're communists. They're not socialists. They are communists. One thing that I'm trying to teach you guys is nuances, right? Well, part of nuances is education. The only way you're going to pick up on what something somebody says is by educating yourself. So, for example, the Democratic National Convention just ended. A lot of people don't realize that during Tim Walz's speech on Wednesday night, they don't realize that there were so many things that he said out of his mouth. And unless you know the Communist Manifesto, you would not even know that he was talking communist. I didn't even know it. But I've been listening and paying attention to everything, and Glenn Beck's been educating me. Everything that Tim Walz said on Wednesday night, listen to his speech again. He was literally quoting the Communist Manifesto. Americans, they'd rather go watch Netflix than get educated. Well, then your country's going to be taken from you. So if you don't pay attention to what I'm trying to say right now, that's on you. I'm trying to help. And trust me, I hate politics. But to understand what we are truly fighting against, you say, but Daryl, you're fighting stuff like mental illness. I fight that every day. I think I'll be fine. No, my message has never just been about mental illness. That's what I've been trying to say to you guys for a while. The ingredients and steps for everybody. In this case, there's going to be a lot of very, very confused people if something bad happens. Well, that's kind of why I want to educate you guys as best as possible. One might ask, well, how do you know if a person is a socialist? It's by the way they talk, by what they espouse as their belief system, their core belief system, even if it's not everything. You want to know why you can know immediately that I'm not a socialist? Because of my want to have individuality at all costs. That I won't just go to a doctor and get myself checked out because mama says so. That it's not about the community. That no matter how much pressure you put upon me, I fight you. The more you put pressure on me, the more I feel like that you're trying to take away my individuality, and I fight you. I don't care if it's for my best good. Many socialists think that they're doing this for the best good. Are they? I don't know if you guys are into Star Trek. If you guys ever want to know what a socialist's wet dream looks like, watch Star Trek. What socialists want, what they dream about, their utopia, is Star Trek. The way they describe Earth in there, everything else. If you think about how they describe Earth as paradise, so on and so on, no wars, people unified, no nations, no American flag, no Russian flag, nothing. Even the unification of different species of the Klingons and the humans and the Vulcans and stuff like that. Now, people go, well, that'd be a cool universe to live in. I mean, Star Trek universe, right? If you know anything about the Star Trek lore, do you know how they got there? Do you know how they got to that world? To that state of being where they were all willing to have no war and no nations and no religion, by the way. You know, how Star Trek, in fact, there was an episode with Patrick Stewart, who plays Jean-Luc Picard, where there was this race of people, and they were a little bit like they didn't have any space equipment or anything like that. But what ended up happening is they ended up getting intertwined with these people, and there's a rule in the Star Trek universe called the Prime Directive. And it's a kind of an enlightened rule where basically if you're an advanced civilization like the humans were advanced civilization, and the Vulcans were the one who taught them this philosophy of theirs, and that's where it came from. The idea of, if you're an advanced civilization, do not interfere with someone who's trying to evolve. So any planets that didn't have warp drive, warp speed, they didn't mess with. They didn't go show up in some random field somewhere. Well, in this particular episode, Jean-Luc Picard has to pretend that he's their god. And he gets offended by it because he's an atheist. A lot of atheists, a lot of people that aren't, I'm not saying religion isn't shown in Star Trek, but it's not just one religion, of course. It's not, and definitely there's no Christians. There's no Christians in the Star Trek universe. None. Zero. Zero Christians. And more than that, how they got to that spot was a couple centuries worth of horrible, horrible, bloody nastiness. If you understand, if you watch any of the Star Trek episodes where they talk about their history and how Earth became enlightened, well, World War III happened. It was awful. They say in the Star Trek universe, they say that over half the population of Earth was murdered or wiped out. The reason why I mentioned that part is to get you to understand the only way that the socialist utopia could ever exist in reality is that way. Because the only way, there would have to be an event so horrible, so awful to humanity, that humanity would have to, I mean, it would almost be PTSD. It would have to be an event so terrible, so horrible, that we would do anything to solve the problem. And even then, you're going to have disagreements. So, I say that to say this. A lot of people from other countries, and I'm talking specifically to Americans, a lot of people from other countries are good people. They cannot understand, even when you read it unless you are being taught American history from a person who understands American history, it's hard to explain to a person from Pakistan or China or Brazil who has never, in their entire life, never experienced the kind of freedom we have here. Okay? They do not understand it, and even when you try to explain it, they still can't wrap their mind around it. They're so indoctrinated in their head, in their heart, that they can't understand certain things that we espouse here. And many Americans are so ignorant on their own history that they can't either. Why is individuality so important? Because it's important to God. Because even though we all are going to experience judgment someday as Christians, we will experience it individually. In other words, I'm not going to be responsible for Denise's sin or my sin, or Lori's sin or somebody else. Got it? Even in the case of marriage, which you are married to the person, you're not responsible for your wife or your husband's sin. You're responsible for your own only. God would never do that to somebody, okay? Well, how is it then human beings feel the need to think that they are better than God? How is it that human beings think that they have a better solution than God? It's because we always do. We will fight the truth. Because especially if we've been taught a certain way. Imagine this. So if we've been taught a certain way, and all of a sudden this new idea is introduced to us, we're going to fight it. Because now, not only am I not only am I wrong, but you're telling me my mom and dad are wrong, and my grandparents are wrong, and the way I was raised was wrong, and the way I think is wrong. That takes slowly. You have to unindoctrinate that person. So even if a person knows, like, take communism. Even if a person knows that communism is wrong and they don't agree with communism, it is impossible to be in a socialist country. It is impossible. Impossible. And for you not to have some effects from that. Does that make you a socialist? No, you might not even be aware of some of your philosophies. You're a spouse and you're a socialist. That happens a lot more than you think. Does that make you a bad person? No, you need to recognize true freedom doesn't, you're born with it. Governments don't give you anything. They only ever take. They take your freedom. They take your money. They don't give you money. But Daryl, the government gives money out all the time. Don't you get an SSI check? That ain't my money. I remember getting in an argument with Denise because I told her I was going to get off of SSI. I wanted to get off of SSI. Sorry, I had to take some gas sticks. I remember getting in an argument with Denise because I told her I wanted to get off of SSI. She couldn't understand it. She's just now beginning to understand stuff like that. There was a reason why it took me so long to get on SSI, because I know the truth of it. That ain't my money. That's somebody else's money, dude. That's why I'm so proud of what I'm doing here. Because even though, yeah, I'm still not making money like that. I do through Facebook sometimes and so forth and so on, and I'm gonna make money in time, but I'm proud of what I'm doing here. Way prouder than I am of getting an SSI check. That's embarrassing to tell somebody that I'm on SSI, right? I mean, that really is, dude. And that's the part that people from other countries can't understand, because they don't have things like that. They don't have free government money. And if they do have free government money, everybody knows what it is. It's to take away from the rich and give to the poor. That's what it is. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Dwan's absolutely correct on that. Let me make this man let me make you a moderator, man. Mr. Jackson, I made you a moderator. Okay, that's right. Okay. That should be right? Yeah, okay. Managing? Yeah. Okay, you know what? Kids that. One second. Let me add you as a moderator, Dwan. Hold on. Okay, there you go, Dwan. Since you're part owner of More Apology Gaming. Yes, well, he's the main one that needs to be part of the club. He owns the business. So anyway, check this out. So it's just that Dwan doesn't necessarily come on here all the time. It's the only reason why I haven't made him one yet. I really need a moderator every time I'm on. So, but check this out. All right, so and no, not everybody that comes on here is going to end up being a moderator. Just so you know, I have to trust that you're going to know what you do, and that you're going to do your job and boot people that are disruptive. You know what I mean? But anyway, check this out. So, trying to explain to somebody from Pakistan or even Denise's country that I want to get off of government money, it's hard for them to understand that. But they live in they live in a bad, oppressive regimes that we Americans don't even know what it's like to live like that. Only until recently, until this period. And see, here's why our fight is not in vain. Because we aren't used to being in shackles. We aren't used to being a part of a regime that wants communism. We're used to being free, and we're going to fight it. See, problem with living in a communist country and places like that, yeah, I know. I know. And the thing is, Dwan, there's nothing wrong with getting on SSI. so long as you have a plan to get off of it. That's my thing with that. And Dwan Jackson, you of all people need to get on SSI so you can stop working so much. You know better than that. That's just hard-headedness. But yes, I agree with you. That is why you're like that. Because Dwan was raised right. But what I would say to Dwan is there is a time to get on SSI. I had to get on SSI. But understand what SSI really is. That was a program by FDR to spread the wealth around. That is a socialist program. Okay? And so, if you want to get on it because you need to get on it and you have to get on it, fine. But then have a plan. Well, but Dwan, you and I have a plan. We're doing the plan right now. So, in the meantime, if you can get on SSI, get on SSI. It'll help you not to have to work and be on your feet so much. Okay? But you and I both know, Dwan, we're not going to be on SSI forever. We're just not. And, by the way, Dwan, introduce yourself to Tanya. Is going to help us. Tanya is going to help us. She is a professional content creator manager. That's what she does for a living, Dwan. So she's going to help us get our message out there, get more subscribers, things like that. Okay, Dwan? And by the way, tomorrow when you come over, we'll have a discussion. And I kind of want, if Tanya gets a break tomorrow, I kind of want to call her maybe while you're, well, no, you know what? She's going to see you while we're going to get on live on here. So tomorrow's YouTube live will not be at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow's YouTube live will be while Dwan's here, about probably around 12 o'clock or so. All right? Like when he gets here. So anyway, the reason why I'm telling you this is politics right now, and I just, you know, I listen to this stuff all day because I have to. Somebody's got to keep informed. Somebody's got to keep you guys informed. Okay? And one thing I'm realizing is that the message that we send here through the ingredients and through the steps, they are the opposite of socialism. They require you to do the work yourself and not have somebody else do the work for you. That might work, Tanya, but most likely we're just gonna get on live and you can watch the live tomorrow, because I do want you to meet Dwan. I want you to meet his personality, and we're just gonna shoot the shit tomorrow. Me and Dwan aren't really gonna talk about anything so much. You know, just kind of we're just gonna kind of entertain the masses. Unfortunately, his birthday was on Sunday, so we get to celebrate his birthday. So basically, we're just going to talk about nothing. We're just going to have fun with each other. But check this out. So I pay attention to all of these different things. And it's very frustrating to have half the country so ignorant that they don't understand what they're doing. And now, part of them do. Part of them know the plan. Part of them know and believe in communism. But there's another part that they just don't know. And they think, because things are messed up right now, and things are messed up, they think that they've been convinced that communism is the solution. And so they go with these false beliefs. That's what happens when you're disillusioned. People do it in religion too. People that are disillusioned with God will try to become an atheist or an agnostic or whatever, you know. And my only thing about that is, this is what I would say, because I'm not going to be on, I got to work, because I want to get to bed tonight, because Dwan's going to be over tomorrow, so I want to make sure I'm rested by the time he gets home. But here's what I would say to you guys. You need to keep educated. What we teach here is literally the opposite of what's going on in this country. We teach individuality. Okay? You know, I want to say something, and this is kind of a reference to a comment that was made earlier today. I'm not gonna tell you the person it was. Also, the problem with some of those countries is they do not know the definition of teamwork. That in those countries, teamwork means everybody has the same job and we all go together as one. That is not it. We don't all have the same jobs. Dwan Jackson and me found it, we own, we manage, and we run New Apologia Gaming. That is our job, which means we are literally every part of the business. So not only am I my own boss, I work. Okay? But that won't be that way forever. Tanya's going to probably show me some different things about how to manage my time with this stuff too. Make easier and shorter videos. There's all sorts of things I know Tanya can show me. But just remember this. In America, Jerry Jones gets to tell you who's on his team. Dak Prescott, no matter how bad Jerry Jones may need Dak Prescott, Jerry Jones isn't going to be put over a barrel and shot. This negotiation with CeeDee Lamb. People complained about CeeDee Lamb just got signed today for the Cowboys for $132 million. And it reminded me, just like what I do here, is like, that's a perfect example of Jerry Jones wasn't just going to sign CeeDee Lamb for the whatever he wanted to. There had to be a negotiation. Jerry Jones is the boss. What that means in America is that means that I have a right to tell you if I ask if you ask me if you can help, and I tell you yes you can help, I need you to do this, and you say no, I want to help over here, go do something else then. I didn't ask you if you could help over there. I asked you if you could help here. You asked me if you could help. Yes. Can you do this? No, you can't do that. Then you cannot help me. It's very frustrating to try to explain to people from other countries that the American version of teamwork, that I listen to everybody that's applicable. I listen to Tanya when she tells me about content creation. I'm going to listen to her about all this stuff. Dwan listens to people too. I look up videos all the time. That's how I get my education. But no, if you've never run a YouTube channel, you have almost as much voice to me on how to run a YouTube channel as a homeless guy. It's not that I'm not willing to listen to you. It's that you don't know what you're talking about. I don't trust you. I don't trust that you're gonna because you've never done it before. Now, if it's something I know you're good at, yes, I'm gonna listen to you. And you guys need to start listening to me and Dwan. We came up with this plan a long time before I even met Sophia. It bothers me. There's like this lack of respect that both me and Dwan get sometimes. Where it's like everybody wants to put their 2 cents in, and I appreciate that you're trying to help me. But when I need your help, I will ask for it. Instead of just throwing in your 2 cents. Unless I know you're talking about specifically something you're good at. Like, for example, let's say Tanya says, hey, Daryl, Tanya has done this before, where she would say, hey, have you ever thought about doing this, blah, 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 and something about content creation? Of course I'm all ears, because she's talking about the subject matter in which she's good at. If you've never run a YouTube channel or a business, just do as I ask you to do to help me. Because you can't help me otherwise than that. Like, you can't. And there's some people that want to help me so bad that they put their 2 cents in where it's not needed, nor would I listen to that person if they gave it to me, because they're not trustworthy. Advice on humanity? Okay, that's different. That's how we talk to each other. That's how we learn from each other, and that's how we learn about each other's issues. But on how to run this business? Don, what do you think about that? You think everybody should just be allowed to put their input in on this business so we can have a social, that'd be a socialist business. Everybody has equal say? What the hell? That is a socialist philosophy. But a few people would try to say that to me. It's like, do you even know how a business is run? Of course, I would not have been able to change my life if I didn't listen to people. It's such a, what a silly thing to say to me. What a silly thing to say to me, right? Dwan, I don't listen to people. I could not have made it this far. Usually people that say stuff like that, specifically, whenever I hear someone say that to me, tell me that, Daryl, you don't know how to work with a team, that person usually just got schooled by me and they're salty. That's usually what it is. That person is a dodo bird and doesn't know anything. Like just because you went to school for something, it's like my uncle. My uncle was a genius in one area. Just because you went to school for something doesn't mean you're impressive anywhere else. Because you're not. There's only been a few of those people in my life, and they can talk to me about multiple subjects. But many of my friends cannot. Like I have conversations with Tanya all the time about all sorts of different stuff. But she's a content creator, so it means that she probably most likely looks up stuff online. So she probably has all sorts of knowledge about stuff. Same thing with me and Dwan. Dwan didn't know much when we first started this business. He's learned everything from me. Like and what I've been teaching him is how to look up stuff. That's what I'm saying, Dwan. That like it's a sign of disrespect beyond belief to act as if you think you can hold my child like I can. And it bothers me. But that's a socialist. This world is being infected by the socialist concepts. And so there's this idea somehow that owners don't work. That somehow if you own the business, you don't work. That's the employees that work for you. I don't have any employees. What the hell? Who do you think works for this business? I do. I earned it. It's like Dave Ramsey says. You don't get to just state policy just because you work for me. That's not how businesses run. And there has to be an orderly manner in which this is done. You understand that a lot of people that we deal with are very chaotic in their mind. Well, if they're chaotic in their mind, they don't need chaos around them. They need order. They need to see order. More chaos makes them confused. Makes no sense. So, here's just thoughts that I have because I listen to all this different stuff, and then I get in a debate with morons that don't know jack shit about anything, and they like to argue. I don't like argumentative people, especially since most of the time, like me and Sophia, we debate all the time. She doesn't agree with me on everything, but she debates me, and she can actually handle her own. She can actually debate me and actually come at me with arguments that are counter arguments. Instead of just saying, well, I'm right. Well, it's my opinion. That kind of stuff like that. Me and Dwan, when we used to debate people about scripture, false religions and things like that, you come across that a lot. If you guys ever want to know how you want to debate, how you want an argument, when the person starts name calling you, when the person starts, that's right, Tanya. Thank you. Anybody else read that statement from Tanya? Anybody else read that statement from Tanya? I'm going to save that statement. Thank you. Did you read that statement, Denise? And by the way, that's what I mean by schooled. Schooled again. I love it when I say something and I'm called this or that. When someone else says something, there's nothing but silence. Nothing but silence. Got your ass schooled again. Maybe you should go back to college. That really helped you out. So check this out. I pay attention to all this different stuff, okay? And I'm trying to prevent my country from falling in line. Because what it is, Americans are good for the most part. Some of us are asleep. And they think it's not a big deal. Our business, what it means to me and Dwan, it is everything. So be assured that we want it to be right, not fast. And that's the driving message for the day. Right, not fast. When you go through your week, and you might be having struggles. Right, not fast. Don't let anybody ever tell you or make you feel bad about the way you do things. And if you're from another country, I'm sorry you don't understand. I really am. But if you're from America, if you're from the United States, you should understand exactly what I'm talking about. It's a sort of ignorance that some people have in this world in which they can look at an American citizen and tell us what freedom is. Especially when you've never experienced it a day in your life. Don't tell me what freedom is. I know what it is. Since the day I was born. That's what we fought a revolution over. I love it how, and then there's some other countries that think that Americans are disrespectful because we find your policies in your country redonkulous. I don't have to show your country respect if you believe in communism. Fuck. Hey, Dwan and Tanya, do you have any respect for a communist country? You have any respect for them? A bunch of commie baby killing bastards, man. All of them. Every communist country in the world. They hate children. They hate families. They hate religions. Fact. It's awful. So if I'm disrespectful to that, you're welcome. Maybe you should be a little more disrespectful about your own country's policies when they believe in death, destruction, and the evilness against God. I wouldn't worry about what I'm disrespecting. Okay? I would worry about you disrespecting God who created you. That's what I would be worried about. I wouldn't worry about whether or not you're offending me or whether or not you're offending your government. I'd worry about offending him because he has actual power. Men, we love to use armies and people to absolutely destroy, to try to act like we have power. He has power. And you better damn well fear him too. Look at people. You shouldn't fear God. Yes, you should. Oh, yes, you should. Is that your number one feeling you should feel? No. But you should understand there are consequences to you doing wrong. That's what Donald Trump was talking about when he was talking about why there was no wars while he was president. Because they feared him. Because Russia feared him. China feared him. And there ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of fear in your life. Because I promise you, if you don't fear me and you try to come into my home and take my stuff, you're going to find out what I mean by fear. Yeah. In other words, that helps you get protected from other people and other philosophies. If you're a person who believes in evil, you better damn well fear me. Not physically, but you better fear this mouth of mine. Because I promise you, I know what I'm doing. You attack one of my friends, you better fear me. Because this mouth will start to run. And when this mouth starts to run with this brain, you have no chance. You ask Dwan. That's not a bragger statement. It's a fact, Jack. You know, every day I think about all the different things that I can do to help my friends, to help the people that come on here, to grow my business. How do I get someone with low self-esteem to fight for themselves? Show them what it is. Show them what it is to defend themselves. Well, you don't do that by being passive. You don't move forward in life by being ignorant, stupid, and uneducated. Get your ass in a book and learn about history. Get your ass in a book and learn about tactics. And if you don't, just come right here. I'll teach you. Don't be a fool. There are things going on in my country right now. I promise you, they are very good. They know how to trick you and make you believe whatever they want to do. Well, there's counters to this if you're willing to learn. You don't have to be unprotected. And by the way, you're not alone anyway, because you have me, you have Dwan, and whoever else is on here, and whoever else is part of my people. And anyone who will ever join this and become part of our community. We don't leave each other behind. Unlike the 3-year anniversary of one of the worst American debacles in history, when 13 American Marines died in Afghanistan, trying to leave that place because of this presidency, because they don't care about our soldiers. And trust me, Donald Trump is using it. I don't have to play with this shit, man. I don't spit out ignorance. Come out of the fog, wake the fuck up. Wake up before it's too late. There are many who are waking up. So then let's wake up then. Let's not be stupid here. Let's not be ignorant here. You want to hear something funny? Towards the end of the fall of the Roman Empire, the Bishop of Milan started warning Christians. Now this is before the Catholic Church. He started warning Christians that, we're in trouble. That Rome was about to fall, and that be prepared for when it does, because God is no longer going to save Rome. Rome's dead. So the people started preparing. They started printing their own monies and things like that, even though it was illegal to do. They had to change their system because the world was about to change on them. They could most I think the coins were printed in Rome, so when they would send it off to another place, bandits would steal their money. Well, they started printing money elsewhere, not just Rome. And you had the very beginnings of what would be known as the feudal system, where you have a landowner, a master, and you have a bunch of people working the land so that they can have a place. The very beginning of that, towards the end of the fall of the Roman Empire. When you are prepared properly, yeah, is your life going to be the same? No, it's not. If something were to happen, and because I'm telling you now, there's quite a few states that would agree with me on this. Texas will never be a communist country. Texas will never be a part of this. Neither will Tennessee, neither will Kentucky. We will never be a part of a communist regime. That's the good news. Bad news is there's many other people in this country that have no choice, which means that when they leave their home, they will be looking for someplace to go, and they will be very scared out of their mind. They will need people like us to comfort them, to help them know that everything's going to be okay. They will need that. So prepare your minds, get knowledgeable, period. That's my message for the day. So, love you guys. Be safe when you're traveling. Be safe when you get there. You never know what happens. I will see you tomorrow, Dwan. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Dwan, and we'll have a conversation about it. We're gonna talk about a bunch of stuff. But then remember, Dwan, we're gonna get on YouTube Live tomorrow, so that'll be like around 12:30, 1 o'clock. We'll do that. Okay. All right. So be safe when you're traveling. Be safe when you get there. Be understanding of one another, not just from your perspective, but from theirs. Be understanding of yourself too. You can't always be expected to go toward the person. They have to come towards you too as well. They have to try to look at you as a beacon of hope, beacon of light. But if you can't get up one day and you can't give money one day, don't make yourself feel bad. Oh look, Denise finally commented at the end. I gotta be honest with you guys. I thoroughly enjoy ripping certain people to shreds when they act like a dodo bird. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. All right. Remember, life is fleeting. You're not promised your next breath. So take now to go outside your box and change things, because you never know what you might find out about yourself. Until tomorrow, then it's going to be me and Tuan tomorrow. May the Lord light guide you in all things. Goodbye.